December 1872. A ship was discovered drifting alone in the Atlantic Ocean. Its cargo was untouched. Food remained on board. The captain's belongings were exactly where they should have been. But every person aboard had vanished. The captain, his wife, their young daughter, the entire crew. Gone. More than 150 years later, nobody knows what happened aboard the Mary Celeste. But the strangest part wasn't that the crew disappeared. It was a clue investigators found inside the ship, a clue that may explain why 10 people abandoned a perfectly good vessel and were never seen again. On December 4, 1872, a British ship called the Dei Gratia spotted a vessel drifting across the Atlantic. Something immediately felt wrong. No crew stood on deck. No one responded to signals. When sailors boarded the ship, they expected to find a disaster. Instead, they found a mystery. The vessel was called the Mary Celeste, and it appeared almost completely intact. Its cargo remained on board. Food and water supplies were plentiful. Valuable personal belongings had been left behind. Nothing suggested a violent attack. Yet the people who should have been there were missing. Then investigators noticed something strange. The ship's lifeboat was gone. That detail changed the entire mystery. Then investigators noticed another strange detail. The captain's logbook contained no sign of panic. The final entries appeared routine. The ship had been making steady progress across the Atlantic. Nothing suggested an emergency. Nothing suggested disaster. Yet sometime after that final entry, something happened that convinced every person aboard to leave the ship. Because it suggested the crew hadn't simply vanished. They had left the ship. But why? The Mary Celeste was still floating. Still seaworthy. Still carrying supplies. Experienced sailors don't abandon a functioning ship unless they believe staying aboard is even more dangerous. Which means something convinced 10 people to leave the safest place available and step into the open ocean. At first, many people suspected pirates. It seemed like the obvious explanation. But there was a problem. Nothing had been stolen. The cargo remained untouched. Money and valuables were still on board. Even the crew's personal belongings remained where they had been left. If pirates attacked the ship, why leave everything behind? Investigators quickly realized the evidence didn't support robbery. And the mystery only became stranger. One theory has survived longer than almost any other. The Mary Celeste was carrying industrial alcohol in its cargo hold. Some researchers believe dangerous fumes may have built up below deck. Imagine hearing a sudden boom. Smelling strong vapors. Believing the ship could explode at any moment. The captain may have ordered everyone into the lifeboat temporarily while waiting for the danger to pass. But if rough seas separated the lifeboat from the ship, the crew would have been left helpless, watching the Mary Celeste drift away beyond their reach, never able to return. Perhaps the reason this mystery survived for more than 150 years is because it left almost no evidence behind. Most maritime disasters leave clues. A wreck. Bodies. Distress signals. Survivors. The Mary Celeste left none of them. Investigators found the ship. But they never found the people. Which meant the most important part of the mystery disappeared forever. Yet even that theory leaves unanswered questions. Why was there no obvious damage from an explosion? Why were some navigation records missing? Why did experienced sailors make a decision that seems so risky? And perhaps most importantly, why was nobody ever found? The ship survived. The crew didn't. For more than a century, historians have debated what really happened. But no explanation answers every question. Today, the Mary Celeste remains one of history's greatest maritime mysteries. A ship was found. The people aboard were not. Some believe it was a tragic accident. Others think crucial evidence disappeared long ago. But one fact remains unchanged. 10 people left a functioning ship in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean and vanished forever. The Mary Celeste was eventually recovered. The crew never was. And more than 150 years later, nobody knows why. What do you think happened aboard the Mary Celeste? Let me know your theory in the comments. And subscribe for more historical mysteries, lost treasures, unexplained disappearances, and unsolved stories from history.